find the angles between two linear lines by two different methods. The first method is we're going to use the graph page and the geometry function of your graph page to work out the angle. And the second method is to create a template using our notes page so that we can save it somewhere in one of our preferred folder in our CAS. So when you need, we can pull it out again to quickly calculate for a given question. So first, let's just take a look at the question. You have to find the acute angles between the lines y equals to 2x and y equals to negative 5x plus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the first method. So in F1, let's type y equals to 2x. We're then going to hit tab. And in F2, let's type negative 5x plus 3. Now, as you can see, our job is to work out this little acute angle between F1 and F2. So in order for you to do that, what I would like you to do is to hit the menu button for me, and then we're going to scroll down to number 8 where it says geometry, and then we're going to go down to number 3 where it says measurement, and we're going to go down across and then down to number 4 where it says angle. So that is menu 8, 3, 4. Once you've done that, you should return back to this graph page with the little pencil icon. So what you need to do is that you need to click on 3 points. One will be on F1. The second point will going to be the intersection point between F1 and F2. And the third point must be on F2. So let's do this in clockwise direction. So my first point will be on the blue line, which is F1. My second point will be the intersection point between F1 and F2. Click. And my third point will be a point on F2. Click. So as you can see, once we've done that, we have calculated the acute angles between F1 and F2 as 37.875 degrees. Also too, we can always use geometry to work out the obtuse angles between the two lines as well. So if you look at here, this is the obtuse angles between F1 and F2, isn't it? So by geometry, you must agree with me that this obtuse angle simply the supplement of 37.85 degrees, isn't it? Because from this blue line straight down to here, that makes a straight angle, yeah? So meaning the angle, the obtuse angles between F1 and F2 must be the supplement of your acute angle that you just found. So that's the first method to work out the angles between two lines. We're going to go across over here now, and we're going to create a little template in our notes page which allows us to work out the angles between two lines. So first, just a reminder that every time that we need to type any command, it needs to be written or typed inside your math box. And for you to call up your math box, simply just press Control, the letter M. So let's first assign what M1 equals to. So M1, we're going to be positive 2. Enter. And then I'm going to assign M2 as negative 5. Now, in my third math box, I need to type in the general rule. So that is tan of theta. So when it comes to you trying to type tan of theta, you must be careful that you should not ignore the brackets for me. So get rid of that brackets, please. Otherwise, it will not work. So we're going to go tan of theta, tap with the pi button will get you to theta. So tan of theta, and then we were going to assign this as the absolute value of, open your bracket and get the fraction template for me, and it is M2 subtract M1. You can type it in or you just use this variable button and pull them out. It's up to you. So tab, my denominator is 1 plus the product of M2 times M1. That's it. We then press enter. The calculator will then going to output the corresponding decimal for you of what tan theta equals to. Now I would like to convert this to an angle, obviously. So I'm going to call theta now as my next math box. Theta will simply going to equal, I'm going to assign this as the tan inverse of tan theta above, isn't it? So here it is. As you can see, isn't that amazing? We have exactly the same value. So this is the acute angle between your two linear lines. So whilst we're here, we're also going to create a little template, or we're going to write a little command to tell the calculator to work out the obtuse angles between the two lines. And as I mentioned to you before, it is simply the supplement angle of theta, isn't it? So I'm just going to call this a supplement theta. And let's assign this as 180 subtract theta. And the calculator will do the calculations for you as 142.125 degrees. So that's a nice and easy little template that you can do there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to save this, and then I'm going to show you how to pull it out and do the calculation for say a brand new questions. So in order for you to save this document, what you do is you press the document button for me, and you go to File, and then you go to number 5 where it says Save As. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder. So I did that before, but I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this as, say, 12 Methods Unit 3, for instance. Hit enter. And once you hit enter, you only created the folder, but if you want to open up this folder, I want you to click on it. And as you can see, once you've clicked on it, it says saved in 12 Methods Unit 3. So I'm going to change this as the default, not document 1, but I'm just going to say angles between two lines. And we're just going to save it. All right, so that file has been saved. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm going to show you how to pull it up again. So first, I would like you to hit the home button, and you should have this display. Now the new calculator under documents, it says option number 2 where it says browse, but with the old one, it's still option number 2. I think it says something about open or something. So we're going to go option number 2. And there are many folders, so we're just going to go down to the folder where I call it as 12 Methods Unit 3, and here it is. I'm going to click on it, and as you can see, in my 12 Methods Unit 3 folder, I have angles between two lines. So double click on it, opens up that file for me. So pretend that we're going to have another question, so let's just type the second question here. So say question 1, you need to calculate the angle, say the acute angle. So we need to find the acute angle, say BTW, meaning between y equals to say 5x and y equals to say 7x plus 3, for example. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to edit this. So in my M1, I'm going to click where the blue entry is, I'm going to delete it, and I'm just going to go 5. Positive 5, I go enter, and I'm going to go down to my M2, I'm going to delete that one slowly, and I'm going to make this as positive 7, and I go enter. And as you can see, it recalculates everything for me. So isn't that cool? So the acute angle between the two lines will be 3.179 degrees. So it's a very tight angle there. And then supplement, which is the obtuse angle, is 176.82. Now you can go to your calculator here, the calculator page, and then you can edit and you do the same thing as what I showed you before. So that's the end of my tutorial. Thank you.